Hi, I'm Shimelle, and today I'm not exactly doing a best of both worlds video here, but there's some best of both worlds involved. So what I'm going to do is walk you through my 2023 album and how January looks now that it's all complete. Now, it's worth knowing that I don't always make sure that I have finished everything in exactly the right amount of time. So for example, if I want to go back later in the year and add in another story to January, I have no problem doing that. But as it goes right now, January, as I look through my photo library, I think I have all the stories that I want to include in my album for January there, and I want to show you how that looks. So a while ago, going way back, I did a video kind of planning, showing you how I plan out my chronological album, and it was called My Plan for Scrapbooking 2021, and that is kind of what how I work. But this is showing you what that actually looks like. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is flip through the January album, and I'm going to break it down into which ones were made with the Best of Both Worlds kit, how I made the other ones, and how it all works. Okay, let's take a look. So here is the album I'm using for 2023. Please don't overthink this. This is literally an album I still had on my shelf that had no pages in it, so it got picked. Bing! So it's an American Crafts D-ring fabric covered album, and all of my albums are this sort of format. I use ring binders, D-rings, so that they've got plenty of room and they don't bend the pages, and then my page protectors inside. So a quick little flip through of January 2023 looks like this, and then I'm going to come back and talk about each one in a little more detail. That's it, that's January, and now let's go have a look at where each of these came from. So this one here, this 12 by 12 was made in a live stream that you can find here on the same channel with the January Best of Both Worlds supplies, plus some background papers that I added in to make that stretch a little further. But everything else that's on top of the wood grain and the pink, everything else here is from that kit. This is also from the January Best of Both Worlds kit onto white cardstock with some stenciling with the stencils from scrapbook.com. And then all of these paper elements are from the kit, and the stamps were in the kit too. So that's this little bit of colorful stamping here. The 6 by 12 we'll come back to. That was not a Best of Both Worlds page, but this 12 by 12 is. So I made this, which actually started without the clouds. So the clouds have been stenciled onto that background. And then the washing line composition. So you'll find the video has that in the title. That's all Best of Both Worlds supplies. And then this, actually, very different look than those, but this is still Best of Both Worlds supplies. I've just put it on a pink background that was from my existing stash. It's a really old sheet of KI Memories paper when pattern papers came with rounded corners, so I haven't added that. That's how that collection was created. Yeah, and so that was also made on a live stream. So all of those already exist in full videos that you can watch the whole thing, plus random rubbish. They're already there. But all of these smaller pages are things that I made later, and in this instance did not film each one because I wanted to get a sense for how I was putting this together this year and what it was going to look like. And now that I've done 1 month, I'm good to go now. So I feel like I've set my tone for how it's going to work. So I went through my photo library after I had done the 12 by 12. So the 12 by 12s come first. And then after the 12 by 12s, I went through my photo library to find other stories that I wanted to tell, but I didn't want a full 12 by 12 for. I just wanted them to be noted in my album. And then I mixed things from the kit. So this was left in the January kit along with these. This is from the kit. These stickers are, but then this background card I've added from my stash because it matches the colors, but it wasn't in the kit. This cut file I've cut, that's a Paige Evans cut file, cut from cream cardstock, to match the fact that these are on off-white, more cream rather than a bright white. Yeah? So mixing a little bit of stash in to kind of stretch this color scheme. So just needed to find something I could cut to 4x6 that would coordinate with these colors. This is a Project Life, Becky Higgins page protector, by the way. So you get the 4x6 pockets top and bottom and 2 3x4s in the middle. Now a bit here that again, so this is a background card, the 4x6 card, not from the kit, but these things that are piled on top are from the kit. And cards like this are a really easy place for me to take things that I like the motif, but they didn't fit into the theme of a 12x12 page. So I love this typewriter, but it doesn't fit on any of the pages in a way that I could see to make it work. But writing a little bit of details about any particular day, that does suit a typewriter to me. So on it goes. So a few notes about back to school, about something I got in the post, about back to lessons, because this is January, so there's a lot of back to whatever after the Christmas break. So here, mixing in different pieces from the Best of Both Worlds kit with the background card to stretch that out. Yeah, so all of these labels, all of these stickers, that bit of paper, all leftovers from the kit. Okay. This one, now I'm bringing in things that were not in the kit. So this is existing stash for the green. This middle piece is Cosmo Cricket. This is a dotted Swiss piece of Basil Basics cardstock. And then I've added a few little bits from the kit. So I've got these letter stickers from the kit. These strips of journaling are actually on a scrap from the kit. There's a Brussels sprout paper here. We call this the Brussels sprout paper. It's a Vicky B paper. But then added in some things that were not. So this chipboard here, and this sticker here and here and here. Those are all pieces from the same collection by Vicky Booten, but they are not things that I put in the kit. Yeah. Added in some enamel dots because I'd already added all of my confetti elements from the kit. I didn't have any of those left over, so pulled out some enamel dots to match the colors in the embellishment. Yeah, so mixing really old stash. I mean, Cosmo Cricket paper, and this is I believe this was Simple Stories when Simple Stories was really, really new. So those two have been in my stash for years and years and years. They fit well with the things that I'd already made, and I would like to see them in my album rather than on my shelf. Cool. So 6x12 here. This 6x12 page protector is an American Crafts one that I've had for a long time. This is so old. This is Love Elsie paper from KI Memories back in the day, as are these little pieces along here. This one's the newsprint one is Simple Stories, but very old Simple Stories. Some elements here, all of this that's stacked up, that's all from the kit. So is this. But these are some stickers that I bought from an Etsy shop called Letters to July, who does sticker sheets to with song lyrics and pictures and things like that are all themed by different shows in the West End. So we went to Newsies and I used some of the Newsies stickers. Yeah. And yes, I bought a whole stack of them, so of these stickers, so that I can use them in my album to go with little stories like this and to support an artist making her own stickers, because I like that idea too. Okay, so 6x12 with old stash, but matching these colors and going, what do I have in my stash that's really old that I still like? I would like to get it into my album rather than on my shelf that would match the color scheme. Does the month need to have a matching color scheme? No. Can it be fun sometimes? Yes. Yeah, but don't panic if yours doesn't. There are certainly sections of my album where color just runs riot. That's fine. Okay, this one was made in a live stream, so everything here except the background paper is from the kit, and the background paper was like a fade, Bella Boulevard ombre, so it was aqua down here and white at the top with a fade. And then I brought in this stencil, which is from an old Best of Both Worlds kit, and stenciled the clouds on. But all of these cut apart pieces, all of these stickers, all of that's from the kit. Yep, same here. We've talked about this old paper, but everything on top here is from the kit. And in order to get these 3 hearts to match the background, I cut it from behind, which I never remember to do, but I did in this instance. Oh, and I added the purple here. And because the photo has all of this purple and green branding, I pulled out a sheet of Sparkle City purple because I didn't have purple in the kit to kind of get that feel for this. So pulled that in. Okay, then we have one more 6x12. This time divided into 3 4x6 pockets. That's also an American Crafts page protector, but different brands make page protectors, so don't worry if you see one that's different than what I've got. Just go with what you can find or what you have. But this is where I started mixing up the different little pieces of paper that I had left. So there's the little remaining pieces of the Brussels sprout paper, and I had a bit of this pink dot paper left. So those went in there. These are from the Heidi Swapp sticker book. That's from the Heidi Swapp sticker book, as is that. Now these two are really funny because these are from a really old Simple Stories paper that had all these little journaling spots, but they each had a tab that had the day of the week. And I have just found over the years that I don't use very many pieces that have the day of the week. It's just not how I scrap. So I'd never cut into them. And then I realized that these two were exactly the right colors for what I wanted to set up here. So what was I going to do about the tab with the day of the week? And at one point I even thought, well, I could just pretend it was those days. But I thought, why do I need to? Just run it off the page. And so the edge that goes off the card is the edge that had the day of the week, and I just cut it off. Now, suddenly I have journaling boxes that work for my purpose. Yay. This is a card that I've added. I'm not 100% sure now if that was an Ellie Studio or a Scrapbook.com card. It's one or the other. So yeah, just added a card from my existing 4x6 card stash. And here I'm using other pieces. So like this is a leftover from the kit. This is a leftover from the kit. These are from that same Love Elsie paper that I cut up here. I cut the same one up a little bit more. This is also Love Elsie. It's not exactly the same paper, but it was next to it in my stash. This background is what I used here. So I used a bit more of it rather than put a 6x12 of it back in my stash. And this is the same, it's just the B side was polka dot and the A side was chevron, or the other way around, I don't know. And then here, this was from the kit, but this was a background from a previous kit, so I just added that in. These stickers were all from the kit, and I was really happy with how this came out because I'm rubbish with clear stickers, and then I put a sticker book in that turned out to have quite a lot of clear stickers in it. And this instance, I really like how that works with the clear letters over the background. Yep, stories written straight onto there. And these are silly little things. Like I'm never going to make a 12x12 page about the Magic Banana story, but the Magic Banana story is something I definitely want in my album because it's something that's really funny to me that's happened in our family. Like it's the sort of thing there years from now, my son is going to be like, oh, I need a magic banana. And somebody's going to be like, why on earth do you call it a magic banana? And he will have forgotten probably where the Magic Banana story started. And here's the origin of that story. Yeah. Magic bananas are bananas you eat an hour before exercise, by the way, so that you have the right amount of power. So yeah, magic bananas. So that's it. That's January. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'd filmed this once before, and then when I said I was going to publish it, somebody made a really good comment that I wished I would have thought of, but now that you asked for it, I shall deliver. So somebody said, could you turn this into a class where we can follow along with how this goes? So here's what I'm going to do. Now this is a coming soon class and there is not a date on it yet, okay? So you're going to find links in the description below, but you need to know straight up, I'm doing the sticker class first and this will come after that, okay? So please, I'm definitely do not have a date in mind when this is going to go live. It's just what I'm working on right now. So I'm going to take you through in more detail than this, way more detail, how my strategy for albums works like this, and it would kind of fit naturally from cover to cover, which is my big album philosophy class, if you've ever taken that, but you wouldn't need to. And I'm going to talk to you about how how I choose these stories. How do I look through my photo library and decide this is a story I want to include, this is not? How do I get to the point where Magic Bananas seems like something that must go in my album? I'm going to take you all through that. I'm also going to then show you how all of that works in progress for February. So I haven't done those yet. I've done the 12 by 12 pages for February that I did in the live streams, and the class content will then show all of that detail about the philosophy of it and how it works, as well as how that then equates to making the rest of the pages for February. Now in January, all my 12 by 12s were made in Best of Both Worlds live streams, and everything else that went in was a 6 by 12 or pocket, okay? It may or may not be that way month to month, depending on when I go through the photo library, how many other stories are there that I want to tell, yeah? So it's very customizable, and I do believe that sometimes we have months that have lots of stories, and sometimes we have months that have very few stories, and that's okay. Now, so what I'm going to show you is all of the background, how it works, and my February pages going together so that you see the February version of this, but you'd see each of those smaller pages and filler pages being created, and I will tell you the process about them. And the difference between that and the 12 by 12 videos that I do live streaming is that these wouldn't be live streams, so these would not be random rubbish. So I will only be talking about how I'm making the page, what story I'm telling, and why. I'm not going to be chatting about other random topics that don't have to do with what I'm making that day. So yeah, so the initial one that's going to give you all that background plus February is going to be like the starter class. And then you can add in as I go, as I film each month, I'll add that to a library. And if you want to add on each additional month to your starter class to see how I made all of those, then you can. And that will just be a tiny little thing that you can buy and add on. Okay, so you can find details for that in the description box below, but if you're watching it right now today, then it doesn't even have a start date yet, okay? So I'm just letting you know that that is coming, and that I really like the idea that came from all of you, and I'm more than happy to share that with you. So that's what I'm going to do, but there's no dates yet. It's just coming soon. Okay, I hope you really, really enjoyed this. I thank you very much for coming to watch my hashtag advertising whenever I'm here. And I appreciate all of you who come to watch the live streams, including the random rubbish, whether you heckle or whether you're quiet. So thank you so much. And if you enjoyed it and want to give it a thumbs up, that's super duper awesome. Otherwise, I live stream twice a week here for free. That's Mondays 1:30 in the afternoon-ish UK time. And again, Fridays 9:30 in the morning-ish. And I make a 12 by 12 layout in each of those. I'll see you soon.